This time we are looking at, once again, more Famicom stuff.
Yeah, what is it? We're finally doing Famicom now all the time?
Yeah, well, we finally got it working and everything. So first of all, we did Legend of Zelda, and then we did the Doki Doki Panic games. With the Legend of Zelda game that we did, we played that on the original Famicom. You remember that? And the problem, once again, with that was that coaxial was the problem. And
oh, did you get it modded yet?
well, the footage looked like crap, kinda. Because it was coaxial compared to like AV.
Yeah.
So
composite, RCA, whatever you want to call it.
Right, and the other problem, by the way, was that the controllers, you know, they're hardwired in.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that we said.
Okay.
But since then, I figured some things out. Now, what we didn't say, and this was a mistake, right on the front here, you pull this off.
Okay.
And there's a little port.
Are you kidding me?
Hudson. You know what the little Hudson be?
Yeah.
They released controller. Look at this. There's a Hudson B on there.
Okay.
And you can plug this right into the front of the original Famicom, and there you go.
B.
That was the problem there. But one of our fans, after seeing the Legend of Zelda video, Martin, by the way, and thank you, Martin, for what I'm about to show, modded a original Famicom for us, and here you go. We have an original modded Famicom. As you can see in the back, there are AV.
That's badass.
And these controllers, he also made the wires longer.
That's badass.
Right? And plus, on top of that, of course, you could put the Hudson controller into the front. So here you go. All of our problems are now solved for the Famicom, and this is for you.
Oh, awesome. Well, you know what I have to say, Mart? I'm very disappointed that the Famicom is very stained and yellowish. No, I'm just kidding. This is awesome. This is really cool.
So that's going to be for the nerd room. Now for here, for me, again, what happened when we did that Zelda video, a lot of our fans were leaving comments that, hey, why don't you guys use the Famicom Model 2? And I said, Famicom Model 2? Because you gotta remember, we grew up in the United States. I didn't know about Famicom Model 2. So, right there, as you can see, I have the Famicom Model 2, which is like very similar to the top-loading NES, and that has AV.
So it looks just like the top loader, basically?
It's very, well, if you see the top loader, it looks a little different, I guess. See the top, how the top on the top loader is like rounded.
Okay.
It's a little different shaped.
Wow.
And also, you can see, you can just plug NES controllers into it.
Or you can just do what I always used to do before and just get an adapter so you can play your Famicom games on the NES. But we're doing it because we want to play the actual console.
Right, exactly. Martin also sent in this soft carry case, which is funny because this has Famicom disc games. I just wanted to show this real quick. You can open this up and it's like a little carrying case for your Famicom disc games on the go, I guess?
Well, the Famicom disc system also had batteries on it, as well as you had the AC adapter. I think was like separate. You had to go get it.
Right.
But it would have batteries in it that you could put in, and that's a strange thing. It seems like the Famicom disc system was always trying to push the on-the-go part, as if you would.
How could you play it on the go?
The Famicom would need to be battery powered too, and your TV would need to be battery powered. Could you imagine somebody sitting on a beach with a Famicom thing all hooked up?
With the disc system.
The disc system.
Nonetheless. Today we're going to be playing a Famicom game called King Kong 2. Which is, I believe, based off the King Kong movie from the 70s? Was it?
It's actually, there was a sequel to the King Kong movie in the 70s. It was called King Kong Lives.
Okay.
Terrible movie, but
oh, there was King Kong and then King Kong Lives.
Yeah, see, every time they remade King Kong, there was usually a sequel. Like, okay, the original King Kong had Son of Kong, and then the King Kong versus Godzilla, the Toho one, that had King Kong Escapes. That was the sequel where he fights Robot Kong, and it has Doctor Who in it.
Okay.
There is a character named Doctor Who. And then the 1976 version, the one where he's climbing up the Twin Towers, that one had King Kong Lives. And the Peter Jackson remake has yet to have a sequel, so they got to get on that.
Right.
Well, wait. There is a Kong movie coming up called Skull Island. I'm not sure exactly how that fits in, or if it's a prequel, or what it is, but there is something in the works.
What I think is funny is, well, here's the game. First of all, this is King Kong 2. It's a cartridge game, not a disc system game. But what I think is funny is Atari had a King Kong game, and I always wonder what this was based off. That looks like the original King Kong to me, I guess. Well, honestly, it looks like any version of King Kong, I suppose.
I mean, it's more King Kong than Donkey Kong, and that's what's blown my mind, is that Donkey Kong, which is clearly a spoof of King Kong, you know, takes the girl up to the top of a building and you gotta go up and rescue her. There actually exists King Kong games. So why don't they just cut to the chase and just go for King Kong instead of Donkey Kong? But
well, that's a whole big story itself, and the rights and all that.
There was a lot of rights issues. Universal was trying to sue Nintendo. I think Nintendo won, and they won because it turned out Universal didn't even own. They owned the rights to the King Kong films that they made, I think, but they didn't own the rights to the actual character because that was RKO. Anyway, Nintendo won. I wonder. Because this King Kong 2 game is only on the Famicom. It never came out in North America. And I guess this one I don't even know.
Do you think Tiger Vision for Atari had a lawsuit with Universal over this game?
I'm thinking they probably didn't even care because of Tiger Vision, but
because nobody's ever even seen that.
Nintendo was a small company at that time anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering why we didn't get this, because Konami made it. Konami made this game.
That's the crazy thing.
We didn't get it here. I never even heard of this game. Yeah, King Kong Lives, right there, see?
Oh, yeah. So it actually says it in the title.
Do you know De Laurentiis? It said his name in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so you got A buttons jump, B buttons punch. Seems pretty standard.
All right.
I've not ever played this before.
Well, you're obviously, it's King Kong versus the Blob.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the Glob. We'll just say the green.
The Glob?
The Glob is the green version of the Blob. Actually,
is that a real thing?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Actually, the name for the Blob was originally the Glob, but there was like a copyright issue. Like there was a comic character called the Glob.
Yeah.
So that they changed it to the Blob.
Well, if you ever want to see the Glob, here it is. It made an appearance in the Famicom King Kong game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the comic character, but.
So I kind of like this so far. It's a very self-explanatory. Seems like
it looks self-explanatory.
It seems like a game that we would have had growing up.
Why didn't we?
But we didn't have it
because it didn't come out.
There's also other Famicom exclusives that we didn't get here. And in fact, I reviewed one of them. It was Rekka, which was like a space shooter.
Oh,
game.
I heard of that. Yeah. I've had this game in my collection for a while, and I don't know why I never got to it till now. The only reason I can think of is that I must have confused it with a Famicom game that was actually Donkey Kong, because a lot of games on Famicom will happen like that. I have a game that it says DuckTales. It's called DuckTales, and it has this stupid picture of a duck.
Right.
You know that one, right?
Yeah, I know
I've showed
that
it before in videos. But you put it in, and guess what? It's just the regular DuckTales. It's the same exact game as the NES. So
you thought this was a Donkey Kong?
I must have thought it was Donkey Kong or something. My memory's blurred a little bit, but I think I remember I had a multi-cart game, and there was a game on it called King Kong, and I played it, and it was Donkey Kong.
Right.
But that's happened numerous times where the Famicom game is the exact same thing. So I started losing hope that there were as many Famicom exclusives. So I didn't really think that there were as many. And now I'm starting to learn that, yeah, a lot of these games, like this is a game right here that's Famicom that was not on the NES.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool too. I'm hoping there's some other kind of weapon that's like a projectile weapon, because this is just like you're punching and it's very short range. You know, you have to just go up to something and punch it.
I mean,
look at that. Oh,
I mean, he's beating off. He's beating off. But I mean, what? Have you ever seen King Kong throw a projectile before? I have.
Okay, well, good point. I just wish his reach was a little longer. That's all. Because especially when you're like that, it's like no longer than his.
Well, stop doing that.
So this took me to some other area here. Wait, what is?
Listen to music. It sounds a lot like the Zelda Labyrinth.
Yeah, it does actually. Oh, so that was like some kind of warp. It took me somewhere else.
Yeah, King Kong is warping. That's a strange thought. It's also strange that there's fire-breathing dragons. And so, when did King Kong ever fight these kind of things? So are you noticing any delay at all?
There's no delay anymore, because you know what? Actually, I don't know if you watched it, but I did a video about hooking up video game consoles about a month ago.
Yeah.
And since then, there's been a major update. As you can see by looking at the TV, it looks like a little sharper, a little clearer.
Oh, okay.
That's because I got a thing called the Framemeister. And the Framemeister is supposed to improve picture and lag. So a lot of people were saying when I made that video, like, oh, you're playing like old NES games like on a new TV? Like that's gotta be, you know, shitty. But the Framemeister is a device that's been made to correct that issue. And I have it now.
There also is game mode on the TV, right?
There is game mode, but that didn't do enough.
Okay.
So
did it help at all, or?
Yeah, it was definitely game mode. Definitely has to be on, and that definitely makes it better. But there's still like, and when I'm talking about lag, I'm talking about like half a second or like a millisecond, you know. But it's enough that in certain games, like if you're trying to fight Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, it's got to be like super accurate. Oh my God, what's this gonna be?
It's a squid shooting dog turds.
Yeah. But I can tell you this. See, like this is where I could use some kind of projectile because you're just gonna get hit by that. I wasn't sure about the Framemeister, and I was like, really, is it gonna really help the lag? But Bootsy was just over here recently, and he actually beat Battletoads.
Oh, of course.
On this TV.
He beat fucking Battletoads? It's ridiculous.
He beat Battletoads sitting right here.
Let alone, you know, beat the turbo tunnel.
Yeah.
I could barely beat the turbo tunnel, let alone beat the game.
Yeah, so. Donkey Kong needs to get drunk. He needs that beer up there. He's gonna get monkey drunk.
Monkey drunk.
Well, that's the regular Blob, right? The red
yeah,
ones?
that's the red. That
looks like a bloody Blob.
Oh, Blob is bloody because he's eating people.
Oh, that's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the Blob starts off.
The Blob
like,
is blood, huh?
Clear actually, but then he becomes purple or like red as he's like eating people.
Oh, there you go.
What?
Look at the menu. Punch and rock. Switch to rock.
Ah.
Those were the rock. I was wondering what those rocks were I was collecting. Is that it?
There we go.
I was gonna say because the game, you need need a projectile in this. And you know what? There you go, James. King Kong versus Godzilla. He throws rocks.
There you go. All right.
So he's telling me you don't know everything about King Kong. Come on. You should have thought about that.
I don't know about that cheese, man.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't eat that cheese.
So King Kong throws rocks. That's his projectile. Very primitive.
Yeah. That's what you'd expect. But I could just picture King Kong like shooting fireballs or something.
Right. That would be out of place.
Because that's just ridiculous. A giant ape, that's fine, but...
That little squid thing I fought before reminded me of some kind of Godzilla or Gamera villain.
It does. You know what it looks like? Dagara or...
Were there villains in the 70s King Kong movies?
You know what? Not really. I remember he does fight a snake in the 76 King Kong, but that was one of the things that those movies were really lacking, was having King Kong fight dinosaurs and other monsters.
Ooh, I wonder what the star is.
I don't know, let's find out.
Oh, shit. You're making the sound.
There you go.
Oh, it's like the Mario star.
Yep.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I always wish there was like a Universal Monsters NES game.
Oh yeah, who wouldn't? I'd want an RPG with all the Universal monster characters. It doesn't even. It could be called. It doesn't have to be like Universal branded. They can make it Monster Squad, the RPG, or something. Or in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, there's an Invisible Man character, and it's supposed to be H.G. Wells' The Invisible Man, but they had to call it An Invisible Man. Yeah, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, that was the movie that made Sean Connery quit acting. After that movie, he was like, fuck this shit, and he retired.
Good for him, because that was a shitty movie.
Well, that is one way to go out.
Is that true? Like, has he never done a movie since then?
No, that was it.
That was it.
And I mean, from what I read, that
He's
was
like,
the reason.
my career's over. I'm done. Nobody will ever forget that movie. That failure.
Oh my god.
You know, I can kind of respect that in a way. He was like, you know what? I was in a shitty movie. I failed. Like, it was really bad. Like, I failed as an actor. I'm done. It's
done.
over.
I'm done.
Because most
I'm too old for this shit.
Most people, like, look at Adam Sandler. How many shitty movies has he made? And he'll keep pumping them out forever.
I'm out of rocks.
Well, punch him in the face.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Oh, a key.
Yeah.
Did you get the key?
I didn't get the key.
I love Lady Kong. Well, now he's into his own species apparently, because like, you know, he's going after a little tiny human girl. Oh, you know what? That's in the movie. There is a Lady Kong in King Kong Lives.
Oh, okay.
So you can't go left.
Okay.
You know what? If you can't go left, just put a wall there. Make it a lot easier.
Oh, try in there.
Okay. We haven't been in here. Did I just...
I guess it was just to collect that item, whatever it was.
Okay, guess
Oh,
so.
wait, was it like another heart container? Yeah, it was, because now you're up to 200 life. That's actually really convenient.
Yeah, cool. All right.
This is one of those where do you go games.
It's becoming that.
Yeah.
It wasn't at first.
I bet you this gets really complicated. I kind of wish it was more like Jackal, where you just go up.
Just go up.
And then you fight a boss, and then you go up, and you fight another boss.
It's weird because...
Oh.
Okay.
Ah. Games used to be so cryptic.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh my god, now there's 2 doors. Oh look, sharks.
Jaws, it's Jaws.
It's King Kong versus Jaws. King Kong versus Mothra. That's what you think of when you think of King Kong navigating through mazes.
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, it's cool. I'm glad that they actually made like an action adventure game out of King Kong.
So the military has her kidnapped, yet there's all these like alien.
Yeah, I mean, he's
things.
like he's fighting the military vehicles, but he's also fighting like mutations.
It's like all these diseased testicles.
Yuck. Like right there, if you're trying to get away from people, the jumping seems to like... The jumping seems to be a good defense.
Oh,
whoa, shit. It's Tendril.
Tendril?
From Inhumanoids. Alright, I'm gonna use rock.
Those aren't very strong, are they?
No, they are not.
And now you're out. Punch him in the fucking face! There you go, one more.
One more.
Can't get hit much more.
Nah. Oh, that beeping sound.
Switch to your boomerang.
It's boomerang. that'd be awesome.
Oh wait, wrong game.
Look,
yeah.
2 out of 200. Holy shit, I'm like so dead.
One hit, you're dead.
Oh, look.
Oh, he was blowing up.
Yeah, so close.
Just get on top of him and beat off.
I'll try.
It works pretty well, honestly.
Yeah.
See? King Kong, whack off!
Whack off, whack on.
Whack off, whack on! There you go. You're almost there.
It's one guy now, finally.
There you
All
go!
right.
Get the key, get the
Got
key!
the key.
And that fills your health up. That's like getting the Triforce.
You want to give it a shot?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, thanks for putting me in the worst fucking situation ever. Yeah.
He's in like the Twilight Zone right now.
Oh!
All right, go in that door.
Yeah, this is the weirdest area here.
It's really weird.
Like
Look,
fucking...
it's King Kong in space.
Seriously. All right, let's go in here. No. All these doors everywhere.
Who would have thought King Kong would be such a puzzle fuck?
I know.
I mean, it's not that confusing, but it's a little more than what you think.
Right. I like this game.
It's pretty good. It's
yeah.
not bad at all.
It's definitely like more. It takes more time to play and beat than like Jackal, or
Jackal's a little more straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, Life Force is straightforward.
Yeah, this is not straightforward, but it's definitely. Actually, I feel like we really missed out with this game. Like I would have loved.
Oh, we definitely. If this would have
loved this.
If we were playing this when we were 10 years old, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Game over.
Well, that was a pretty good sampler. That's a game I definitely never played before in my life.
Yeah, I think it's a game everybody should try. It's really fun. If you like classic Konami games, it was awesome. It's fun.
Very surprising. It's definitely one we missed here. You know what? There's also a Konami game, Noah's Ark, that was actually surprisingly good, and that was only on NES in Europe.
Yeah, that's right.
So there are certain things we missed out on. New Ghostbusters 2.
That game's awesome. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Like if I would have played that Ghostbusters game when I was a kid, You know?
You wouldn't have been so traumatized over.
Yeah. Why'd we get the shitty ones? By the way, speaking of Ghostbusters, that was the Ecto-1 right there. Yeah.